So today we start to sand and polish this helmet because in the end we want to try to use the graphite and make something like this. This my Mando helmet is always by Mystery Maker Patron. So as you saw, his files are very, very good. And this he was sanding and painting and used the graphite. So I want to teach you how to reach this effect of the metal like a Beskar. It's very nice, very smooth with the Roman helmet. This helmet, when I print, it was printed in different pieces. Here, if you see the crest, it was three parts. I already glue it, the part, because I used one glue that he took very long for stick, almost 24 hours. But after he passed 24 hours, it's very tough. So I've decided to wait a little bit. So I decided to glue it one day earlier. So I'm ready for the live. And here the helmet, it was three parts. One part is the front, one part is the back, and one part is the top of the dome here. This one was printed without the support, and inside you can see this because it was totally support free, only some support on the visor here. When I printed this one, I had one problem, one issue, because not for the file, of course, but because I printed this file using two different printers. I print the lower part with the flsun V400 and with the filament of the eSUN PLA Plus Gray. The top here, I print with a Bamboo P1P, always with the eSUN filament. And even if the printer are calibrated very good, they always have some difference, like 0.2, 0.3 millimeter when you print the square to check for the E-step. And it looks very minimal problem. But when you print something big and the flsun has one tolerance, the Bamboo Lab has another tolerance, this 0.2, 0.3 millimeter difference grow in the space, it become like 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters. So in the end, I have the top here that was a little bit more external than the front, than the lower part. So this part is a little bit over. This one because I printed with two different printers with different tolerance. So what I did here, I use this one that is a normal stucco for the wall. When they paint, they put something like that. I cover here the gap and sand them very hardly here for make as smooth as I can for cover the gap. This one also I had to did yesterday because if I make on the live now, after I cannot work anymore with the helmet. And for glue it, this was the glue that I used. This is a normal A+B glue, stick together. And here, if you can see lower, I try to use with the light. Here, this marker that you can see here, I'm using the soldering gun here for melt the plastic together and stick. So this one, they will never fall down anymore. So today, what we will start to do, we will start to sand few hand of sanding on the helmet, and we'll finish to put the first layer of primer filler, and try to make as smooth as I can on the first time directly. After that one, the next live, next week, if the helmet is ready, we will start to use the graphite. So I will start to show to you how to apply the graphite, how many times you need to use it, and how to make sure that the graphite is stick on the helmet and doesn't stick on the hand. You see, before I touch the helmet, it's very clean. Most the big problem on the graphite when you apply is that remaining sticky on the helmet, and everything you touch is dirt. It makes dirty your hand. So next time we'll start to show about that one. But today we start to sand. For sand the helmet here. Okay. I use this one for the beginning. And because this helmet is already very smooth, I can start it directly with 180 grams here. So let's start to sand. Let me put a good point of camera Here, okay. Wait, let me cover 1 second the computer with some paper, or I can say bye-bye to my computer. When you use this one, it is very good idea to make circular movements. Don't go straight, because it make more smooth surface, because you can cut the lines. And don't stay too long time on the same point, or when you make this sanding, you create a lot of heat. And if you stay too long in the same point, you start to overheat the plastic. This is still plastic. You melt and you make some holes. So it's important to make few times in one point and after change position. Of course, you cannot reach the small part here. For this part, I will go to use some other tools, something smaller, like this one, something flexible, like this one, something more soft, like this one. There are different tools for each every part of the helmet. Some part, like this one here, it's almost impossible to pass the sanding. It's very difficult because it's too small and you cannot recover the detail. So this one you need to try by hand to use a little bit on the top, and for the down you must have a very smooth surface for have a good result. Otherwise it's very difficult for reach here inside. With the PLA plus of the eSUN, usually I have very good result already. So that's why I can start with 180 grams of the sanding machine. Before, I usually start from 60. But like now, using the flsun and using the bamboo, I was able to skip the first 3 or 4 times sanding and pass directly to 180. Same topic is here. This part you cannot send, because if you send, you will ruin all the amazing detail that this helmet has. Look here. This one, the secret is just you need to print good at the beginning. So you need to tune your PLA, you need to tune your printer. In the description, you can find my profile of Cura slicer and Prusa slicer for the FLSUN V400 and the PLA Plus of eSUN. So if you have this printer, or if you have the bamboo, I also shared last time on my profile, you can use my profile and this filament to print to achieve this kind of quality. This is, I cannot say that it's almost resin, but it's very good. It's super detailed and super smooth. This helmet is really amazing. I really love these files. The secret for making the helmet super smooth is take your time and sanding as much as you want until you are not happy of the result. Sometimes you can just sand very fast and have a very good surface. Sometimes you want to be more precise, you need to sand more time. This is the longest part of the props to make the good helmet. You need to take your time, sand. If you are not happy of the result when you pass the primer, don't be afraid of come back from the beginning, sand again and do it again. More time you sand, better will be the result every time. Armac. Okay, the first part is done. Now let me clean a little bit. Let me put away the mando, otherwise I will dirty. Let's remove the extra dust. So now it's time to go to make the smaller part. I start always with the 120, 240 is enough. This one, of course, using the hand, you have less power, but is enough for reach the small part like this one. The first time, you don't need to be super detailed, because now I will go to apply one putty filler all over the printer. And after that one, is the time to apply to sand for good. So now it's just a path for remove some imperfection if you have an imperfection on the printer, nothing more. Here you see there is some line because when you print the dome is normal. This one will be disappear using this red oxide here. Is a putty sandable filler. Is a filling the imperfection. It's very good. It's very smelly, but it dry very fast and is sandable by water. And he helped a lot for making this kind of stuff smooth. So let's start to use that one. But first, for using this kind of product, always wearing the gloves. Don't touch it with your hands because it's not healthy. So for apply this one, I usually use some sponge. How to use this one, I already showed last time. This one is a new one. I need to open. Let me throw. Just put a little bit. The first time is a little bit more liquid. Now is arriving a good one. With a sponge, spread all over the print. This one, it will cover the small gap. You need to pass 2 times normally. You need a lot of work. It's not so simple. Okay, in the meantime that this one is drying a little bit more, let's check this one. This one is not too much that we can do because it's already very smooth. And this line here we will cover when we use the primer filler because otherwise it will be a mess to cover the detail. So I just use a little bit this one. I will just put where I don't want to use too much filler, like here. So I will cover this part. So I can put a lot of primer filler here to cover this small imperfection without ruining this part. Okay, now for the blade, I remove the 180 and I can go directly with the 240. Okay, now I need to move very far from the computer because I will make a lot of dust. So wait a moment, adjust the camera. Otherwise, next live, I don't have any more a computer. And I don't think it's a good way to work. Yeah. Okay. Okay. When you pass this one now, you don't need to be too aggressive, otherwise it will remove too much. First time, just pass gentle with the sandler. The second time, we just go with the wet sandpaper for 100 grams to make more smooth and it will be finished. This one here is already super smooth. If I will use a normal paint, I can almost stop here with this helmet. I can just put 2 layers of primer filler and after use one color, one metal, chrome, gold, black, whatever I want, and it will be very smooth. But because I need to use the graphite you need to be super smooth. If it's not super smooth, the color in the end will become like a black. more smooth is the helmet, more clean metal effect like this one. With my hand are dirty. More nice finish metal you have. This one you need to make super smooth. So take your time, make more time here sanding, but in the end it will be repay with amazing, amazing result. So, as you see, when you pass this putty filler and after you sand all the small imperfection, the camera here, they already almost disappear. It's very, very good. Here you can still feel the gap. This one need to pass a few times more because I told you before there was a problem that I printed with two different printers. So they have two different tolerance and the cause that the piece doesn't match perfectly. That was my fault because I want to print faster. I should just wait. Wow, already super smooth. Here, always pay attention. I use my hand on the back or give support because otherwise it will break. And for the inside, always use some blade. Help you to remove all the putty filler finish inside. Pay always attention when you use the blade. Don't cut like I did before. Oh, look. Before, after. I know that for the webcam, maybe you cannot understand, but it's super, super smooth already. If you use a product similar to this one, you can find by yourself and try. You will feel the difference immediately. As you see, this stucco, after I pass a few minutes, and is already ready to be sand. Here, no, I change the camera. Okay, let's recover here. And now, let's go in some part smaller that I cannot reach with a big sander. Also the small part here near the corner that you cannot reach with that one. I can use one 320 soft. This can help to reach this corner, you see. You need many, many tools for reach every single corner. Some part that will be very difficult, you can use some resin, maybe you can help. I use the nail polish, I find better. It's more easy, less dirty, and less poisoning. And here still remaining a little bit of the layer, the circle when I painted the top of the dome like in all helmet, but that one will pass a second time of putty filler and it will disappear. At first, one time we need to pass the primer filler. That it will help. If you find some spot that is more tough, you can go down with the 120 or 240 to have more grip and remove it, because you need to remove all the small exceed of this putty. Otherwise, when you pass the graphite, you will see. Look at this part. I use 120 because I cannot sand very well there. Look, disappear. This part, after I will pass one time the primer filler, I will see here. I will see, where is the camera? I will see how is the result. If I'm happy, I will just continue like this. If I see some imperfection, In that case, I will go with some resin or some nail polish to make smoother some small part without affecting the quality of the print. Remember always to turn your helmet in every position. If you look like this, yeah, it's nice. After you need to watch also here. And people, they forget this part because always watch like this. Okay, here is almost done. A little bit more recover here. Different blade. This is shorter, it's more easy. As you see, I use many different tools because there is not one tool that works for everything, unfortunately. You must have many small tools. So according to the situation, you can change and reach every part. Okay, this one now I'll pass the hair gun for clean this to recover the part, and it's already for sand, for paint, the first time. But this one, it will be for another day. So for today, let me change the webcam. Okay, yeah, I'm back. Okay, so it's past already 1 hour and start to be tired. So for today, we finish here. I show the first step of polish and sanding and helmet with just one time sanding and one apply of one putty filler. I already got a super smooth surface. Still need to recover here the gap a little bit. More time of putty filler and it will be ready. But this one is already very smooth. This one I will use directly the primer filler for don't ruin all the details. The top here will go like this. So this part is not necessary. This one will be very easy. And here we'll connect the ears and we mask the center ring so I will not lose the detail that Mystery Maker create on this print. So for today, it's okay like this. If you're happy, if you like what you saw, one more time, please write here in the comment, let me know. Put a like, subscribe to the channel, please. Help me to grow here. And follow me on Instagram and Facebook. You find the link in the description. So you can share and show me also what are your current projects. And we can have a chat there. So for today, it's over. Thank you.